So this video is about the breadth first search. So you might have seen another one or my other one on depth first search, and you'd have seen that we used a stack structure. But this time we're going to use a queue structure here for this one. But we're going to start in the same place in A. So we'll start with A. We're going to add A to our visited list. And then we're going to look to see what A is connected to. And the first thing that A is connected to is B. We're just going in alphabetical order. And so I'm going to add B to my visited list. I'm going to add B onto my queue. But we're still working with A. We haven't moved to B, we just visited it and we've come back to look at A again. So now we're on A, we're going to look for anything else that's connected to it. And we can see that D is connected to that. So D we can visit. We're going to NQ add D to the queue. But we haven't moved to D, we're still at A. So we're looking at what else is connected to A, and we find that G is connected. And so we're going to add it to the visited list and queue it. Make sure we've visited it like that. And then we go back and look at A, and we find out that there's nothing else that we can see that's another connection from A. So we've finished working with A, and we go to look at our queue to see where we go next. So we're going to take B from the front of the queue, and we're going to look at B and decide that it's connected to E, and we haven't visited that before. So we're going to visit E. We're going to add VE to the visited list. We're going to NQ E into the queue, but we're still working here at B. So we look again and we see that F's connected. So we're going to add F to our list. We're going to put F onto our queue to say that we've visited F. And now we go back to look at B and we think, oh, there's nothing else that we can see that we haven't visited that's connected to B. So we're going to go back and consult the queue. And so D is the next thing to look at because it's the next thing in the queue. So we look at D and we find, well, there's nothing else that we haven't explored from D because it's connected to F, and F's already on our visited list and A is already in the visited list. So we can't do anything with D. So we're going to look at the next item, which is G. Take that off, look at that. And again, we're going to see that it's connected to E and A, but we've already visited those. So we can sort the queue again. DQE and have a look at it. E, it's connected to B and G, but we've already visited those. So we're going to go back and consult the queue. Look at F. So F, oh well, we've got H that's connected there to F, so we can add H to our visited list. We can make sure we've visited it. We can add H onto our queue. And so we're still working with F. So we go back to F, but we find there's nothing else that we can visit from F. And so we're going back to consult the queue. And the queue at the front of the queue now is H. So we take that off and we look at H and we find out it's connected to C. And so we can add C to our visited list, C to our queue. So we go back and we just need to say that we've visited that with our green highlight. So then we look at back at H and we find there's nothing that we can do from there. So we can sort the queue, find out it's C. So we take C, we look at C, and there's nothing we can do from there. And the queue's now empty. So we've finished our breadth first search and we've looked at every node in the graph.